Welcome to How to Lift Basics Trainer Day 7. This is our second back and biceps workout of the training series, and I'm super pumped to hit these exercises. These are some of my absolute favorite exercises to engage the back. So we're starting off with a bent over barbell back row. That's a lot of alliteration and a lot of B's. So one of the most important things about this movement is the form. You need to reach and hinge your hips back. It is almost identical to the position of the Romanian deadlifts when we were doing the hamstring work. Okay, so it's hinging your hips back and then holding that position with a nice flat back. As you pull the barbell up towards the mid part of your chest, you want to make sure that you engage your back first by driving your shoulder blades back and together and then pulling the bar towards you. It is so common that people will just work their arms and get a really great bicep pump by doing this because they're engaging their arms first and they're not at all engaging the stronger muscle, which is the back. You'll know if you're doing it wrong because your arms will start to fatigue and start to have a lot of lactic acid pain buildup. I like to use the cue and think about my shoulder blades pulling back and together, almost like wrapping around my spine, trying to touch each other behind my back. Okay, next we have a barbell deadlift. This is a traditional deadlift where my feet are about hip width apart and I am squatting down, reaching my hips far, far back behind me, bending my knees. I'm bringing the bar down to about mid-shin level and then pushing through the floor, keeping my back nice and straight, my shoulders back nice and strong, everything in a neutral position, and driving my hips forward, pushing them towards the wall in front of me. This movement is complicated because there's a lot going on. It's a compound movement. There's a lot to think about, keeping the back flat, reaching the hips back, bending the knees, not letting your back round, pushing your hips forward. But funnily enough, this is the form that you would naturally use if you were going to pick something moderately heavy up off the ground. You would bend your knees, you would try and keep your back flat, and then you would push through your legs and drive your hips forward to lift it up so your back would not take all of the stress. Two biggest keys for me are hinging my hips back, keeping my entire back strong from top to bottom, and driving my hips forward at the very top. Next up is the negative pull-up. I dedicated myself to teaching my body how to do an unassisted regular pull-up for a really long time, and now I'm able to do like 5 or 6 of them, which I'm very excited about. But doing negative pull-ups was a huge part of that program. So basically, when you're trying to do a pull-up, the hardest part is pulling yourself up. And for women, we typically have a more difficult time doing that because our upper body strength just isn't naturally there to pull up our entire body weight. NBD, guys, that's why we're here, learning how to lift so that we can pull heavy shit, including our bodies. So you're going to want to find a pull-up bar and either get a bench or a chair or use what I'm using right here, which is the bottom of the assisted pull-up thing, to jump off and up and get yourself into a pull-up position. When you jump straight up, you want to drive your elbows down towards the sides of your rib cage and try and fight gravity's effect on pulling your body down. So you're basically going to try and squeeze your back, squeezing those elbows down towards your sides, and resist coming down as slowly as you can. Biceps. So I have 2 bicep exercises for you. They're both done on an incline bench. The first one, you are kneeling chest down on an incline bench at about a 45-degree angle. You are curling the dumbbells up and bringing them down all the way to a full extension. 2 key things about this exercise are you want to keep your elbows slightly forward. So you don't want your elbows coming back towards your ribs. You want to keep them slightly forward. And the second thing is to slightly rotate the dumbbells at the very top of the movement. So you're basically rotating your thumbs out at the top of the movement, and by doing that you're getting an extra squeeze engagement in the bicep. The next bicep exercise is a facing up hammer curl on the incline bench. For this, you're going to start with both arms straight down, fully extended. You're going to keep your palms facing each other as you pull the dumbbells up, squeezing your bicep, and then coming all the way back down again. You don't want to rest too long at the top of this movement, nor at the bottom. Even though you are coming to a full extension at the bottom of the movement, you do want to use the power and keep the flow of the curls going. So you hit bottom full extension and then you pull right back up again. You really feel the burn on this one, so don't get discouraged if it's really painful. Keep pushing and keep going. You can totally do it. So I hope you found this How to Lift Basics Trainer back and biceps tutorial helpful. I hope that the technique that I went over helps you engage your back and biceps just that much better in your workouts. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. There is plenty more to come. Thanks, guys.